Okay, so basically what I drew right here is what you see right there. Okay? It's a fifth metacarpal, which is your standard boxer's fracture. Although you can have this same type of fracture in any one of these metacarpals. But basically what it is a fractured metacarpal head or neck. And to be more exact, it is the neck, where it is displaced volarly. So what she did is she got really upset and hit somebody or hit a wall. Maybe she got into a fight and she didn't hit correctly. She was reaching and she jammed that thing and it snapped down. Got it? Instead of hitting right here, she just caught the very edge of her hand and it snapped the metacarpal down. So basically, this little knuckle is now sitting in the palm of her hand. Very common. That and boxers and Colles fractures, they're a dime a dozen. Obviously, you have ones that are displaced more than others. That is a pretty good one. I would say that's about as difficult as they get. Most of the time, it just is a little like buckle, where the head buckles down. And you don't really need to do a whole maneuver. You could probably get away with just kind of pushing in on it, but I don't like to teach that way. I always teach to disimpact the fracture and set it back up on top. So if they did it by forced flexion, how would I disimpact it? I would flex it more. I come down here, I pick the fracture up, and then I basically start my arc, the same arc that we did before. I start my pull, I lift, I get my thumb underneath here, and I slide my thumb up to the head. Got it? Meantime, look at this hand. Here's my second point mold right here. And I can do the whole thing. My third point is right here with my palm. All three with one hand. Got it? As long as I'm holding on to her, that knuckle stays put. See how it even sticks out? The more I push, the more it sticks out. And that's ideally what you're trying to do. Again, make sure you have everything ready to go. You can do this by yourself. You do not need someone to hold traction. Why? Because I'm going to hold 2 fingers or 1 finger. Okay? I'll do hers with 1. I can counter myself here. Got it? And I will slide my thumb up at the same time. So I disimpact, I pull, slide my hand, my thumb up. Does that hurt? Let me do it again. Ready? I disimpact, I pull. That one hurt? A little better? I don't want to disappoint anybody.
1 versus 2. Why would you choose?
What was that?
1 versus 2 fingers.
Whichever finger that you're redoing the reduction on, that's what I want you to do. Now, very important that they're screaming, they're mad, they're not very happy right now, that they don't move. Got it? They can't move. So when I let her go, and I start rolling my cast, she's to just keep her wrist back. I roll my cast the same way I always do. If I can squeeze in, there's my web roll between the fingers. I roll this cast in extension. I don't get too crazy, trying to make everything too perfect. I did this whole cast with pretty much 1 roll of web roll. There was a little bit missing out of it. I'm happy there. I'm happy there. Maybe one more time. She's owner deviated, so something you got to keep an eye on. Right? Since this is plaster, I will do a splint in this one. Why? Because the fingers are so weak. Now, because I can't watch every little step or every little thing that she's doing whenever I look away, I will redo the reduction in the cast a little bit as well.
You guys do these in plaster all the time, Chris?
Yeah, I do mine all in fiberglass, but some people do them in plaster.
And you always do a cast and not a sponge?
I almost always do, if I'm doing a reduction, I almost always do a cast. I used to do it with splints all the time.
Yeah, what we do is with splats, we bring them back in 2 weeks and then cast.
And I probably could start and struggle with the rest of that roll, but I know I'm going to need more.
See how it goes up and down, I go through the hand, through the thumb, and then back down the wrist, like catches his lap. See a lot of you guys going through the thumb 3 times, and then down. And you miss it, you miss a lot of things that way. When he's doing it, when he goes back and forth with it, he catches his laps.
Look how, you know, I'll sit there and reduce. You got to get that 90 degrees at the MCP. How do I get it with my thumb right on the metacarpal head? Put my thumb right in there. Boom. There's my molds right there. 1, 2. You can actually take the finger and jam it back. It's another way of molding it too. If you think about it, the phalangeal is connected to that head. It's pushing right directly on the head. So if I push the finger back, I'm pretty much doing the same thing as a mold of my thumb.
Any concern on the ulnar styloid in the back, where your finger's at?
No,
No, never get any rubbing.
my finger's not on that.
Okay, but just that's
My
enough.
finger is on the mid shaft of the metacarpal.
But that's something I'll be aware of. Keep it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And in this cast breaks, especially in plaster. So all you people that like to break the casts,